Hey guys, quick reminder that the Pontini giveaway is still in effect. Enter before January 2023, which is vastly approaching. Don't be slacking. Click the link in the description below or in the comment section and just register and get it over with. Anyways, this video is all about rigging, finishing the rigging and finishing all the electrical and wiring and whatnot. That goes from latches, struts, all the hardware, all the rigging. It's all done in this video, and then we get it ready to go. If you're new to this series or this channel, here's a 30-second recap. This is a 1954 Starcraft that was pretty much a bear hull, and we brought it from a shrinking bear hull with a bunch of old vintage stuff to what it is currently right now. If you're interested in catching up on this series, click on my channel and view the playlist called The Budget Build. And stay tuned for the budget build and reveal, which is going to be very unique from anything else we've done. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, which is all this stuff. If you got our hatches from our store and put them in your boat, you can run door edge guard down the lip, and it helps reduce noise and just makes it a much more pleasant experience to open and close those things. Also started making caddies. This is just a lateral one here, and we're gonna start making ones that fit right in the corner, like right in there. So I'm gonna have like 2 of those in here eventually when they get here. Got 2 packs of those cheap little rod stays things from Walmart. Walmart seemed to have like a huge sale and a blowout, so I just bought everything I could. Anyways, for the hole saw size here, it's 2 inches, and you make it 2.75 inches from the lip. And if you use turf, try to cut only like the top layer, like the grooves. Cut the grooves off and leave the bottom layer of the turf there, and that will give these latches, like these are the white cap latches or the Perco latches, same kind of the cam lever latches, that'll give them something to grip on. If you cut the turf all the way down to make them flush into the deck, then they'll just spin. And the video corrupted when I was installing those struts, so I'll show you that later. But right now we are using this Gator Skins non-skid. They have an OD green. I've had this for a long time. I've never got to use it because I never made an OD green boat of any sort. Now I finally made one, get to use it. Now there's nothing else left to do but wire this boat. Remember, we ran those conduits, those bilge hose through the foam in the back, and then those long PVC from the mid 50 to the front. And that's how we're just gonna rig the wires. Normally, if you didn't do this step, then you would have to have wired a long time before. And that wiring, you better hope it lasts you for the rest of your time, because then it's unserviceable. This time, we can service anything we want. Pull wires in and out at will. I'm using the electric kit that we sell in our store, and they give you enough 14 gauge duplex marine wire to run to your bilge pumps, and to your nav lights, and to a few LEDs if you need. We're cutting about a foot section of the duplex coating off to expose the wires, and then we're putting a female spade connector on the power side, and we are adding a ring connector on the ground side. So we're doing that because the ground is going to go directly to the fuse block, which we will show you in a little bit, and those spade connectors are going to go right to the fuse panel themselves. But that's just hooking the accessories to the switches. And we need to hook the switch to the actual fuse block, and so we're going to cut a little bit more of that 14 gauge duplex, and we're going to make it into leads. So we're cutting just the power leads. We're splicing again, spade connectors on the one side, and we're going to be doing ring connectors on the other side. You're going to be connecting all those ring connectors directly to the fuse block, and then once that is all rigged, we will then connect the other end directly into the switches on the switch panel. A 6-pin fuse block is really good for wiring your basic stuff like your nav lights and your standard bilge pumps, but if you want anything more than that, you plan on running a lot of lights, you're going to want a 12-pin. These are the 5-pin rocker switches that are in our fuse panel. We have instructions when you buy them, they will come with them, but that's just a layout. You can run it so it only uses 3 out of the 5 pins, but it's pretty beneficial to run the 5 pins. It does look nice. Those LEDs really do help in the evening, early morning gray light, and in the night if you fish a lot. You'll just have to daisy chain more wires together. Our electric kit also comes with a copious amount of 8 gauge wire for the trolling motor, and it's pretty long. You can run that all the way from the front and pretty far back into the boat for the battery compartment. We have more than enough left over to splice it, pull it out of the duplex coating, and then you can rig it directly from the fuse block to the battery with the master switch we include in the kit interrupting the power lead here. Choose a place inside the compartment that you want to mount it to. Then you can begin to fix the wiring up. And by fixing, I mean organizing, because it starts to get a little tedious. It starts to go everywhere. You start to get kind of disorganized, but if you loom it, you know it's going to go one way. You know it's going to go here. Just loom it. Have the end sticking out. All you have to do is deal with the ends at that point in time. And it becomes much easier to trace and follow and rig. Our electric kits come with a cutoff switch, and that's what is needed to interrupt the main power lead that we made out of 8 gauge from the battery to the fuse block. But no point to hook it up at all because there's nothing to run it to anyways. During this weird blowout sale month right in the fall, I think it all blows out in the fall because everybody switches to kind of, you know, hunting and other things during the fall, and they don't care about fishing, so all this fishing stuff goes on sale. It's the best time to buy stuff, really. The best time to build your boat is in the winter. But we got this Garmin 73SV Echo Map. It's conservative, but it's very capable, and it'll do just fine for us. Now that we've rigged that up and we've rigged all the front, we have lights run up there. Now comes the rigging part, and this is where you just have to just deal with it. You think this will take an hour, it might take you the whole day. I spent 3 whole days trying to rig it. I spent 1 day rigging the back. It was so frustrating I didn't even show you in this video. The front was a little bit more successful in terms of filming, so we're showing you what we did here. I know it's sped up, but it took a long time. One of the bigger things that I kind of choked on initially and then had to go back and fix was I realized there was no real way around it, was I had to make a subfloor in the terminal stow area. It just had to be done just first the layout, because all the water is going to collect there in the front, any water that gets into the boat. And so the subfloor is hollow. No pour foam under there, but we just made a solid floating aluminum subfloor under there, made out of scrap pieces, and everything went back in there. We also stuck a wall back in there that we're going to be mounting all these wires to. So there's quite a few wires running up in there. Then I used whatever remaining turf I had to turf in that subfloor. And then I also wanted spot lock and nav log heading and routes without having to spend $4,000 on a trolling motor. So I have a Minn Kota Power Drive V2 12 volt 55 pound, and we got the ProNav Marine ProNav Angler setup here. And it is the perfect setup that gives you pretty superior GPS and routing without costing near as much. None of the technology in any of the super trolling motors now is any better than the technology you can get from that ProNav. I say that officially, having used everything and rigged them all. Quick reminder that everything we use to build this boat can be found on our website, tbnation.net, except for the wood. We don't sell no wood, but everything else we sell. Also, we are giving this boat away. This is legit, not a scam or anything. I don't know why we don't have more people register for this, but the link is in the description below and also pinned in the comment section. So register before January 2023. All right, so now we're just finishing up the back. We did show you how we rigged the hoses out with the brackets out for the bilge pump with the manual and the auto. And now we're just rigging a gas tank, and that's a 6-gallon gas tank I've had in my garage for, I think, since the Illumicraft. That's the Illumicraft gas tank. And we gave him a different one, a Quicksilver one, because it fit better, but that one fits right in there, perfect. Rigging up the batteries, 1 starter battery, U1 AGM, and then we have a Group 24 AGM. It's an all AGM battery setup in here. Later on, we will do all lithium to see the difference. All right, we've got power. It took so much longer than I thought it would, but it's done. Those lights are legit. Is that these are all weirdly out of sequence. All these accessories, they're down here on the light, and as I said, here the bilge is there. When you press them, they'll light up. If you want all of them to light up, you're gonna have to do that extra daisy chain option. I guess for nighttime it would be really useful. We also will probably add, because I think it'll be really dark, and we add no additional lights inside the boat, not even in the compartments. I was just gonna headlight it, but I think because we have 1 extra switch, I got a few white lights here, and install these just right here in the cab. And then we ran some extra conduits because I forgot about the onboard battery charger. So we tactfully ran some more down in there. So all the wires and the electricity are away, just the charger itself is here, and then the actual plug it here so the no go like the usual. But if I could do it over again, I would have made this not in here. I would have extended it more. I would have gave myself half this bench and over there too. A little bit more room would have been okay. But still enough room to pull off all the electric stuff on each side. That's just really the bigger component of the whole boat is just the electric.